up, the Blues are going to be tough to beat. Van Hellemond comes to center ice. The Leafs starting Hannon at center. And right off the bat, McLean and Clark do some shoving and pushing. Brown and Francischetti in a lock apiece. And Andy Van Hellemond here with only 4 seconds gone in the first period is going to call penalties.
Well, he's given McLean and Clark two. We know that for a fact, and he's now deciding whether anyone else gets it. Clark and McLean didn't move 1 inch. When the puck was dropped, they started slashing. The next thing you know, they were pushing, and I'm sure they're getting 2 apiece. Here are the players not playing tonight. St. Louis made 1 change. Kelly Chase back in the lineup. I'm sure because they thought they got pushed around in Toronto in Game 4 and Tuttle out. The Leafs the same lineup that they won Game 4 with. Look in the bottom left-hand part of your screen. Clark and McLean, as the Leafs won the draw, started fencing and then pushing. No power play. 4 seconds into the game, 2 penalties.
High sticking for McLean. Interference for Clark. And a face-off just outside the Maple Leaf blue line. That is Oates, number 12, winning the draw and getting the puck into Reese. Hannon starts out his pass to center. Intended that one for Francischetti, but it didn't reach him. Oates is coming in. Paul is in front of the net. Brind'Amour charging into the corner. And Richardson sweeps in front of his own goal. Played it off the boards to center ice. Osborne failed to pick it up. Cavallini rolled it into Brind'Amour. He fired it back in front of the net, and Reese goes down to smother it with Brett Hull coming in close. Reese decided he had better slow the play.
Well, Doug Carpenter must get his team ready to play the first 10 minutes of this game. If you recall, the Blues completely dominated the Leafs in the first 10 minutes of games 1 and 2. And to make sure you Leaf fans know that being down 3-1 isn't the end of the world, the Leafs have come from behind a number of times this year in individual games. Look at these 2 examples. But a better example of the next night being able to recover. Remember, they lost 12-2 in Calgary and 200 miles up the highway to beat the Oilers 6-5.
What you're saying, unpredictable.
Predictably unpredictable. Never a safe lead to the Leaf zone, and they are never out of a game, and obviously a series.
Face off deep in the Leaf zone. Lowry parked in behind the face-off spot where Wilson is about to square off with Fergus. The puck goes into the corner. That's Richardson poking at it. Lehman is back there, takes a push. Wilson got it back to the line. A shot from there is knocked down. The rebound off the goal post. Wilson's backhander hit the post. Scramble in front of the netminder. Reason he didn't see it, I don't think. A penalty coming up to St. Louis. It was Wilson putting the grab on Fergus, and he hooked the Leaf player, and he's going off.
Well, Ron Wilson, who was beaten in the race up the ice by Fergus, hooked him. And the Blues get themselves in penalty trouble early. And not only that, Ron Wilson, who has been their best player and by far their best penalty killer, won't be able to help them on this one. And here's the hook right here. 3 times he hooked him. The 3rd time he hauled him down. Fouls from behind are usually called. The Leafs get a chance here. Here's Sutter and Fergus after that. Here's the one that goes off the post. On a rebound, Reese made the first save, and the backhander goes off the post and stays out of the net.
59 seconds, the time of this penalty to Ron Wilson for hooking. Fergus with Marois and Domfus. Curvers and Ramage. The Leaf power play. They get it as far as center ice. Mahar nearly got a break. In against Ramage. He still holds the puck over there. Ramage takes him in on the boards and then kicks the puck loose. But Mahar still looking for it. Comes to Lowry. Lowry had to come outside the line. Lawler was ready to let one fly, but he didn't get the pass.
The Leafs are 3 for 24 on the power play, 12.5%.
Fergus lifts the high one in onto the glass. Here comes Marois with Fergus. It is Dom Foose failing to stop it, and the Blues shoot it down the ice. 1:15 left in the penalty to St. Louis. Kerber slow and getting started. Now his long pass will be onto the stick of Snips. He'll kill some time. Lawler winds up. Now the Blues seem to be very confident and in control. They're short-handed, and they're beating the Leafs to the puck. No question about that, even though they're down a man. 50 seconds left in the penalty, and the Leafs try to move it up. They haven't had a shot yet. Osborne is stopped by Lawler. Lehman passes the puck back. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Shot goes into the corner. The Blues, Bahar on it first. It is Gill at the blue line. Ramage shoots. He hit the post and it bounced to the side. Ramage again to Gill. He passes one in the slot area. Osborne whipped it to the side of the net. Leafs keep the pressure on. Ramage again. Nice save by Joseph. 10 seconds left in the penalty. Leafs came close, but that's it. Now, penalty is over. So the Blues have killed it. No score. 3 minutes gone in the first period. And the Leafs go in offside at the St. Louis blue line. They call it back.
Curtis Joseph, 2 shots he had to stop in this power play. One by Ramage, and Ramage hit the post on this one on a good, low, long shot from the blue line.
Jeff Brown slides the puck to center ice. Curvers fires it back in. Joseph makes sure it does not come out in front of the net. Gino Cavallini is stopped. The forechecking of Hannon. Hannon and Kordic. Kordic ran into Snaps. They had something going in Game 4 in Toronto, remember. The Leafs forechecking again. This is Franciscetti and Kordic. Franciscetti lost it. Chase ran into Kern and knocked him down. And they tangle together. Play goes on, though, into the corner. Blues trying to move it out. Hannon watching Chase. Chase gets it to the line. Hannon given a bump by Chase. Here comes Chase. He's in the slot. Passes back. Snaps. Shoots. Rebound. Here's a great chance. Score! Chase scores for St. Louis.
Three unlikely Blues in on this play. Chase snips, and then Chase will get the rebound after Reese kicks it straight out in front. And Chase with lots of time, and Reese came right out to cut the angle down. The shot just missed his left pad. Here's Snips. He takes a shot from here, and the rebound is not handled too nicely by Reese, and it's a fat one. And the Leafs, too many people going to Harold Snips, leaving Kelly Chase, who did not dress in Game 4, a chance to get his first playoff goal of his young career.
Brown and Snips assisted on the goal by Kelly Chase at the 4-minute mark, and the Blues draw first blood. They lead 1-0. Wendell Clark now shoots one into the St. Louis zone. Momesso going back there. Daou giving a bump on the boards. Richardson kept it in. Osborne behind the net. Here comes Clark. Clark is Roberts chasing him. He centered it. Daou couldn't play it. Momesso stopped by Daou. Now he has it again. And it's a 2-on-1 St. Louis. Howell's in front of the net. Scores! 2-0 Blues.
Puck. Cavallini pokes it ahead. It's a 2-on-1 and a lovely pass to Hall, and he made no mistake going upstairs and giving the St. Louis Blues an early 2-1 lead. Here's the shooter, maybe the best one in the league, putting it up over Reese. Pretty tough for a goaltender to play a 2-on-1 if the pass across is completed.
Especially to somebody like Brett Hull. And he was dead straight at the net with that chance. Here's another chance for the Blues. Marwal was there to take it away into the corner. Zezelin Momesso assisting on the Hull goal at 4:40. 2-0 St. Louis. And it's a happy crowd near capacity at this old arena tonight in St. Louis, Missouri. Blues looking to wrap up the series, and they jump out to an early lead here in the first period, 2-0.
Bad starts have cost the Leafs 2 games in this rink, and this is a bad one too. St. Louis game plan is much more effective and easily applied when they get ahead.
They went ahead in the first 2 games and ended up winning those 2 games 4-2. And then a 6-5 win in overtime in Game 3 in Toronto. The Leafs with their 4-2 win in Game 4. The Leafs are coming in now. Lehman had a chance there, but he was stripped of the puck before he could get that shot away. Play stopped. They will bring it back inside the line. Lehman and Lawler with their sticks up. Olczyk and Wilson having a word.
Well, Lehman, who got his first goal in Game 4, you can see the black armband on the left sleeve of Gary Lehman right under the number. Of course, that's a tribute to the owner, Harold Ballard. All Leaf players and coaching staff wearing them tonight. The Leafs have to show some poise now. There's a lot of time left. They need the next goal, but they can only get 1 goal on a rush. They can't think they have to tie it up on 1 rush. They need to get settled down and pretend the game's starting right now, and can we win the rest of the first period? If they do, they're in position to do something. If they panic and try and do too much at once, it'll be 3-0 before you know it.
You know that Brian Sutter, the last words he said to his players, we must get the first goal, get the lead. Well, he's got a pair of them. He has a 2-0 lead. Paul Cavallini for Momesso. He's just happy now to dump it out. We'll see a lot of that. Blues, unless they get a certain breakout set up, they'll just keep shooting it away. Leafs are coming in, but they're going to be offside. Kerber's brought it in, and Hannon was trying to get back out, and he couldn't do it.
Seen that guy somewhere before tonight. Bob, haven't you?
He did the anthem. He's doing everything. They brought him in from Quebec for this series. And so far, he's been a lucky charm in this building for the Blues. Leaves Dom Foose. Couldn't get a shot, and the Blues just clear the zone. It comes out. Lehman to Marsh. Marsh moving up as far as center. Sutter made a good move. He brought it in with Lowry, and Sutter is stopped in time. Here's Wilson on a giveaway. Dom Foose just played the puck right to him. Another chance. Sutter missed with that shot. Boy, the Blues are all over the Maple Leafs early in this game. Leafs are just running around inside the line, and there was one big giveaway by Dom Foose. Featherstone is going to try it now. His shot nowhere near the net. Marwal had Lowry tied up. Richardson going behind the goal, and the Blues make quick changes. Leafs having a tough time getting the puck out. They do get it out now to Dom Foose. In there with Fergus. He takes his shot off the leg of Brown. Brindamore. He lost it to Fergus. He tried to play it back. It was intercepted by Brindamore, and there's going to be a penalty to the Maple Leafs. Brindamore was dumped by Fergus, and he is going to go. The Blues leading 2-0. There you see Fergus heading off.
Fergus stole the puck from Brindamore, then Brindamore stole it back. And when that happened, this happened. And Fergus had his stick all tied up under the left arm of Brindamore and hauled him down right in front of Andy Van Helleman. And the Leafs are on the penalty-killing brigade again. And they haven't been able to get much in the way of anything going so far early in the first period here. A goal now would be devastating for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
7:34, the time of the hooking penalty to Fergus of the Maple Leafs. Chase and Hull have scored for the Blues. And the crowd trying to get the Blues going again. This would be a huge goal for St. Louis if they can score on this power play. Oates is with Hull. Brindamore. Zezel. They're coming in there. The pass back in front. And Zezel came very close. Just missed it. Brown flipped it away. Brought back to Oates. Hull swings in on the right side. As Oates sees him in front of the net. Can't get the puck to him though. Oates got it back to the line. Nobody there. Osborne up on Brown. Osborne tried to beat the St. Louis defenseman but couldn't do it. Here's a shot by Daou. Right on the short side, and Joseph covered on it. 1:10 left in the penalty. St. Louis power play to center. Brindamore up over the line. He's given a bump on the boards. Leafs try to get it out. They do. Shut down the ice by Hannon. 55 seconds left in that penalty to Fergus of the Maple Leafs. Francischetti in there hitting. Francischetti slapped at it. Brown poked it behind the net, and here's Brown again from Oates. Ahead it goes to Wilson. He's up to the Maple Leaf line with Hull. Hull couldn't play it. At the line, Cavallini stopped it. His pass knocked down, and Richardson gets it out to Hannon. Hannon moving up. Tries to go for the net. He's in there, but can't get a shot. It's kicked away by Joseph. 20 seconds left in the penalty. Blues lead 2-0. Moving in again is Oates. Oates with Momesso on the boards and back in front. Wilson turning, side of the net. Momesso looks out. Momesso skates back with it. Tried a shot, hit a leg. 4 seconds left in the penalty. It's centered again. Leafs trying to clear it. The penalty is over now. Fergus is on the ice again. Nearing the halfway mark of the first period. St. Louis in this fifth game of the best of seven, jumping out to a 2-0 lead. Clark stopped near the line, but got the puck in there. Joseph out of the net as Olczyk was coming. Herbers bumped into Cavallini. Here's Mahar. He's in. Great save, rebound. And Reese hangs on to it with Momesso coming in, and they don't like that. The Leafs go after Momesso as he charged in on the goaltender who was down trying to smother him.
Reese made a big save on the initial breakaway and then found the puck before Momesso got to it. Reese's job now is don't let that team in white score and put our team out of range. That's a tough assignment the way the Blues are going. Speedy Rick Mahar gets in alone as he blows by Lehman and then steps by Curran, but he can't get the puck by Reese. Now there's the puck, and in a second you'll see Momesso right there, and Reese just got it in time.
Momesso charged in like he should with the puck loose as he was coming.
And in Chicago,
private him.
Nothing in that fifth game.
Featherstone comes back for St. Louis to Gino Cavallini. Zezel tried to knock it loose. They hold it on the boards. Now the puck comes to Zezel. Zezel has no place to go. The Leafs keep it in. Ramaged the shot. Now Gill. It bounced away from Gill. Gill poked it back. Post call as Hull was trying to pick it up. Leafs shoot it in again. Out of the net is Joseph. Featherstone comes back. Domfus stopped it. Domfus whipped it back, but Ramage had moved away from the boards. And the puck went by him. Todd Gill. At the line, Marois to Gill. He steps over center. 4 Blues across the line. Marois tried to jam in. Fell down. And here's Gill moving up. Can't get a shot. Hull steals it. He's away with Lowry. Take the shot. This one is wide. Cavallini centered it. Reese knocked it away. Mahar winds up. His shot deflected by Fergus. And And the Blues are in their style now. They're back waiting. You'll see 4 across the blue line. Watch this as the Leafs come up. And the 4 white shirts right across the line as Joseph stops the long shot. Puck up to center. Lowry brings it in. He has Wilson. Tried a shot. Bounced down in front and Osborne takes it. Poked away from Osborne. He got it back and lost it again. Osborne one more time. Penalty coming up. And it's going to be against Toronto Maple Leafs. Hordick goes off. Got the elbow up. And the Blues on the power play again.
Well, this is the wrong way to start a big game. I'm sure if John Cordick had not jumped and just had run into the St. Louis player along the boards, Van Hellemond wouldn't have called him. Andy Van Hellemond wants no trouble tonight. But watch John Cordick, 27 right here. See him jump? Now the St. Louis line up across the blue line. Here's a great example. Bob Cole just mentioned it. And what are you going to do? You're not going to stick handle past all those people. You have to dump it in. And what the Leafs have to do to combat that defense is dump it in at the red line, not the blue line, so their forwards have got some speed going against the Blues that are standing fairly still. Then they'll recover some of those shoot-ins.
Cordick in the penalty box. The Blues leading 2-0. Hull with Oates, Wilson, Zezel. They go in after the puck, but Franciscetti gets it out. Jeff Brown's the other man back on the ice for St. Louis, and he comes back. Brown goes by Franciscetti with a pass to the left side. Wilson dropped it back to him. Brown to Oates. Oates gets the line, takes his time, rolled it in. Hull to Zezel, back to Oates. He won't shoot it. There's Brown's shot. That's off the stick. Up onto the glass, and Franciscetti waited too long. Couldn't get the puck out. Oates coming in with a pass. Brown going after it, and Hannon made a good play to intercept it and get it down the ice.
You know, it's vital, Bob, to ice the puck when you get a chance, especially late in your shift when you're tired.
That is Zezel in the corner. 1 minute left on the power play for the Blues. Oates up the blue line. Mishandled the pass and had to hurry it in behind the net. Ramage goes over, lifts a high one. That'll get down the ice with 40 seconds left in the penalty as the Blues pick it up. Jeff Brown to Oates. Far wing. That's McLean coming in. Tucked it in off the boards for Hull. To Brind'Amour, who centered it. And Daou made no mistake. The veteran penalty killer whipped it away immediately. 20 seconds left in the lead penalty. Blues lead 2-0. Here they come again. Lemesso and Featherstone exchange passes. At the side of the net, Lemesso missed it, and the Leafs clear it out with only 10 seconds left of the penalty now. Lehman had his man tied up, but Brind'Amour got back. Olczyk took it away from him. The penalty is over. Cordick is on the ice. And the Blues start back out. Brind'Amour being watched by Olczyk, turning around. Now Paul Cavallini. A high one goes into the Maple Leaf zone, and back first is Curran. Dumped it to the corner to Pearson, and he gets it out into the center ice zone. 5:45 remaining in the first period. The Blues have a 2-0 lead. Rich Sutter is going after Curran. He's going to hit him. He does, and he gets the puck. He centered it. Mahar stopped at the line. Roberts a drive. That misses the goal. Reese poked it away from the crease area. And the Leafs slip one down the ice with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first period. Shots are 7-5 for the Blues. But they've had more scoring chances than those shots would indicate. They have been all over the Maple Leafs in the early going of this hockey game. Fergus trying to get that goal back now, one of them. Dumped it in over the line, but the Blues are back here to break it up. Cavallini flipped it to center ice, and Gill backs up. Gill against Oates. Shoots one inside the Blues line, and there's Snips. Over for Gino Cavallini. In it goes. Gill turning to the right of Reese. The Maple Leafs get 3 players rushing down the ice. A pass to Francis Getty, who centered it. Hannon had his stick lifted before he could get a shot. Here he is again. Hannon with Francis Getty in front of the net. Gill knocked down back on his feet. Cleared it in behind the net for Hannon. Hannon trying to center it. Takes his time. Back to Gill. A crowd in front of the net. Ramming shot. Rebound. Knocked away to the corner. Francis Getty bumped by Sneps. Play goes right on, and now Gill hammers one, and it goes off his stick. Gill is in again. Another shot stopped. And the play is called. I think the net must be off the magnets because the Leafs were in possession. And Andy Van Helleman called the play. Snaps off for holding. With 4:05 left in the period, the Leafs get an opportunity now. But their power play has been something else too.
They can rescue a bad period here with 3:50 to go by scoring. They haven't been outplayed as badly as they were in games 1 and 2, but the score says 2. The Leafs nothing.
And Olczyk is breaking for that net. He was stopped at the last second. A good play by Mike Lawler. But Olczyk had some speed up and looked as if he might get around the defenseman and go for the net. Now Olczyk takes a pass. Up to the line. He brings the puck in as Lehman got back onside, but the Blues are on it first. And Lawler is going to try to clear it. He doesn't. Here's a shot. Has plucked a rebound. Lehman went after it. Was knocked flying. It's centered again to Olczyk. Back to Ramage. Ramage shot. Off his skate in front of the net. The Leafs apply pressure now. And the Blues center was on it. And he gets the puck out. Carried in on the boards by Curvers. The puck rolls all the way down the ice. 1 minute left in the penalty. 3:05 in the period. Blues lead 2-0, and the Leafs are moving up again. Fergus moves over the line. Fergus handles the puck by everybody and centered it right to Mahar. Gill trying to keep it in. The Leafs do. And here's a chance for Richardson, but he can't shoot it on the backhand. Another chance. Throws it off to Fergus. He slows the pace a bit. Trying to line somebody up. It's centered up. Moose, and he missed a great chance. Richardson again. For Gill. Winding up. Doesn't shoot it. The Leafs passing just a fraction off. Onto the skate of Don Foose that time. Now his chance. For Gill. Oh, and he missed on the short side. What an opportunity that was for Todd Gill. And he missed the net. 5 seconds left in the penalty. Fergus brings the puck in. The Leafs had a lot of pressure on the Blues, but couldn't get one of those goals back. The penalty now is over. 2 minutes left in the first period. The Blues hang on to that 2-0 lead. Hannon with Osborne. Coming up the center with Francis Getty. They shoot it in. Blues back. Francis Getty missed his man with a hit. At the line. Here's Curvers. Rebound. Francis Getty was knocked down, and Joseph made the stop from the Curvers shot. 1:30 left in the period. The Leafs appear to have come to life the last 5 minutes as the Blues just simply took the game away from Toronto in the first 15. Have the only 2 goals, and this guy is one of them. Hull was Zazzle. Zazzle centered it. Momesso was covered. Hull kept the puck in back of the net. Curvers given a shot by Momesso, and I think he's going off. Reese goes for the bench. The Leafs get an extra man on. 1 minute left in the period. The St. Louis net is empty. Doesn't matter now. Zazzle intercepts the pass near center. Bob Cole, along with Harry Neal, Ron McLean, and Don Cherry at the arena in St. Louis, and Sergio Momesso. Now St. Louis is in the penalty box with 55 seconds left.
And here it is right here. A cross-check across the left ear of Tom Curvers. Leafs get another chance to pull within 1 of the Blues.
The Blues have just killed a penalty. Let's see how they do with this one. Momesso off. Blues lead, and the Leafs bring it in. 38 seconds left in the period. Wendell Clark on the ice. He fired it to the boards, and here's Ramage. Gives it to Curvers. He takes his shot off his skate. Mahar couldn't get the puck out. Kept in. Here's Lehman shooting. Scores! Lehman's high shot, and Joseph didn't have a chance to move. A dandy shot by Lehman, and the Leafs get on the board.
The Leafs got a big break on that. It was a great shot by Lehman, but the Blues attempted to ice the puck right here, and it hit the linesman. Or hit Ramage, sorry, and a beautiful pass to Lehman, who stuffed it upstairs, high on the glove side on Curtis Joseph. And with 23 seconds, Bob, the Leafs are back in this hockey game. And for the first 10 minutes, they looked like they were heading into deep trouble.
That time just posted on your monitor is not the correct time, nor is it. The 23 seconds left. It's got to be 1937. 1937 will be the time of that goal by Lehman. Power play goal for the Leafs, and Ramage got the assist. So 8 seconds remaining in the period. The Leafs poke it up over the line. The Blues will simply clear it back down the ice, and the horn goes to end period 1. 10-9. The shots in favor.
Then Minnesota, the Rangers, Winnipeg, and Chicago have arrived to knock the Leafs off. Here's the guard. Pass in front. Gary Lehman scores! Gary Lehman becomes the second Maple Leaf player in history to score 50 goals in a season. It's up.
You made a move in the wrong direction, he was by you, and if you looked at the puck trying to get it away from him, he had the quick stick. So.
And the puck grabbed by Osborne. He lifts one in. That's offside at the St. Louis blue line. So they stop it.
Osborne is tied for the scoring lead here in the playoffs with Marois. He had 4 points and has been one of the better Leafs. You know, the Leafs had success in Game 4 and limited success in Game 3 with a decided speed advantage over St. Louis, in some intelligent aggression to at least equal or surpass St. Louis in that department, and some good forechecking. And if they want to win that game, they're going to have to get those three things going. They showed brief signs of it in the latter part of the first period.
Kelly Chase and Brett Hull gave St. Louis a 2-0 lead in the first period. 1937, however, Gary Lehman on a power play from Ramage got the Leafs goal. Meso was in the penalty box at that time. Richardson and Marsh at the Leaf blue line. Osborne tipped it, however, he was on his own side of center ice. And that is icing called against the Maple Leafs. They bring it all the way down. So the pace slow as they start the second period. The Blues want to win this one, and Brian Sutter can relax for a while if they do.
I don't think Brian Sutter knows how to relax. I was reading one article on him, and what he does for the summer to relax is go home to the farm and work 18 hours a day. He says that's relaxing. This guy is Mr. Intensity, and you knew before you got to the rink tonight that the real Blues would show up, and they have.
You know, Harry, that entire family has a chore on the farm, a daily chore every day, as you just said, but all of them are working on that farm. So it's no picnic when this is over. And there's the other.
What do they produce
in this
out
building?
there?
Richie.
What do they produce on their farm? I'd like to buy one, whatever it is.
Hockey players.
Yeah, that's right.
Good hockey players.
And there's Rich Sutter. He and his brother in St. Louis, Dwayne, are the only two Sutter brothers of the six that aren't captains or haven't been captains of their NHL team.
Reese slicing one away with a stick. Lehman lifts one toward the line and couldn't get it out. Featherstone was tied up, though, and now there's going to be a penalty. Dom Foose had Featherstone tied up, and then Dom Foose was upended, and Featherstone of St. Louis is going off. Slashing is the call, and the Leafs will go on the power play. Let's now go down to Ron McLean. He has this update.
Good, Bob. It's a Norris Division highlight from Chicago. Denny Savard weaved his magic on this play and worked himself into a position to shoot. He took a pass from Goulet to get there, then beat John Casey. Greg Millens in the Hawks net. It's Chicago 2, Minnesota, no score at the end of one.
There's Featherstone in the penalty box. And the Leafs will have a power play goal, and here's the penalty. Harry, he got mad when he had a chance to move.
Well, he thought he was hooked from behind, and he was. but not enough to call a penalty. He retaliated, and you know they always get the retaliator.
Olczyk, Clark, and Lehman, they go in. Snaps looking for Olczyk. He found him. Pinned him on the boards. Leafs get it back to the line. Ramage winding up. He's covered. Can't get a shot through. Kurvers hands it off. There's a drive. A hard one and a high one by Lehman on the glass. Ramage again to Kurvers. Back to Ramage off the boards. His shot. Rebound was there for Clark, and he took a swipe at it and missed it. Ramage had to hurry back against Mahar. Now Ramage from Kurvers. Up across center ice. Lehman let it slide in, and Clark couldn't play it. Here's a chance for Lehman again. Up for Olczyk. Oh, and he missed on the short side. What a chance. What a great setup he had. Lehman again. Out near the line. Kurvers. That's knocked down, and the Blues are going to clear the zone. They got the rebound, and it was Wilson. He was very quick to jump on it and clear it. 45 seconds left in the penalty. Leafs with a chance to tie the hockey game here. And they move it in. Fergus shoots one from the far side. It goes in to Dom Foose. All the way back to Ramage. Ramage trying to keep it in. It bounced over Kurvers' stick. Sutter going up on Ramage. Ramage got there first. Here's Wilson. But it's Kurvers giving it to Marois. Marois coming out with Dom Foose and Fergus in with a shot. Nowhere near the net. Fergus looking for it. Sutter has it in front of his own goal, but he slipped away from Fergus. Rich Sutter shoots it into the Toronto zone, and now there's going to be a Maple Leaf penalty. Sutter was upended, and he has been hurt. He went sliding into the boards at the far side, having been hit by Ramage. We'll be right back after this message.
Rob Ramage gets 2 minutes for hooking Rick Sutter, who had shot the puck in and then tried to pursue it. Sutter took a fall into the boards and was stunned momentarily, but he'll be all right. We all know that about the Sutters. St. Louis will get a power play in 6 seconds when Featherstone gets out of the box.
So this penalty at 2:36 of the second period. Leafs couldn't do much with their power play opportunity. Let's see how the Blues do. Because they're on the power play right now. Featherstone out of the box. Ramage in the box. Paul Cavallini. He gave it to Brown, and his pass is stopped. Osborne bumping Zezel. Dow gets the puck away from Zezel and comes up. Dow gives it to Osborne. A little out of his reach, too far. Into the corner. He picked it up. He was pinned there by Brown. And the Blues get organized. Brind'Amour faked the pass back and carried as far as center. He couldn't fool Osborne, though. Dow, he has been great killing penalties for the Maple Leafs. Shoots it in, and the fans come restless. They want the Blues to put one on the board right here. 2-1 is the score. St. Louis leading. Leafs shoot it down the ice again. 1 minute left in the Ramage penalty. Zezel backs up with it. Coming out with Brind'Amour and Hall. Hall takes the pass. Going along the board. Centered it. Zezel tried to tip it in. Reese stopped it. Hall goes back to help. It comes over for Oates. In back of the net again for Zezel. Zezel trying to center it. There's Brind'Amour with it. Richardson bumped him on the boards. Zezel in the corner. Hurries the pass back to Brown, and here's Oates. Oates winds up. No shot yet. Now, his pass. There's the shot. Oh!
You know Oates isn't going to shoot. You know he's going to pass. You're not absolutely sure where. And that bad angle one-time shot beat Reese. Reese looked to me like he got over there in time. There's the fake shot and pass. Reese moves over and gets out. Zessel got all of that one and put it by him.
Zessel scores the goal for St. Louis. 4:14 is the time. Jeff Brown and Adam Oates assisting on the Zessel goal. And there he is.
And Oates, who had a 4-game point streak coming into this game, makes it 5, as did Hull with his goal in the first period. They scored at 1 point anyway in each of the 5 games that have been played in this round.
So the Blues get their 2-goal lead back. They were up 2-0 early in the game. First period, when Lehman scored on a power play late in the period for the Leafs. Now this power play goal, and the Blues are up 2 again. Lawler comes back. He and Featherstone are the defensemen for St. Louis. Olczyk in for checking. Couldn't stop his man. Lowry takes over at center with Rich Sutter and Wilson. Here's Rich Sutter. Backhands it near the net. Curran had Lowry tied up in front of the goal. Olczyk shoots it in. Bumped by Lawler as he tried to chase it. Olczyk falls. Lehman moving up with Olczyk, who centered it. They score! Pearson coming in there, picked up a pass and let it fly quickly. And the Tempers clear after that one, but the Leafs get it back and they trail now by a goal.
Gary Lehman intercepted a pass when it was in the air to start the play, and Oates made a nice backhand pass to Pearson, who quickly shot it past a little surprise Curtis Joseph. This all started well after the goal when Ed Olczyk gave Lawler a little cuff in the forehead as he went by him. Andy Van Hellemond was going to the scorer's table to report the goal, and I doubt, Bob, that he saw this. Lehman and Wilson, bantamweights at best.
Richie Sutter and Curran looked as if they might go. Now Richie Sutter is there with Ramage.
Olczyk and Lawler started it, and if the referee, Andy Van Hellemond, saw it all, which he may not have, as I said, he was going over to the penalty box, Eddie Olczyk could get the extra one. Now the people down there want to avoid a misconduct, Bob. If they don't get out of there, Andy's going to start throwing the dime penalties around. And they don't, Leafs don't want to lose Lehman, Olczyk, Ramage, and those kind of guys for 10 minutes.
5-minute mark is the time of this goal here in the second period. This is not done yet.
Featherstone versus Ramage, they seem to be the ones that won't stop. Todd Gill is trying to pull Featherstone off Ramage. There's going to be a lot of 10-minute penalties here.
You know, it's been a fairly quiet series so far, up to this point. Right up to this point, on the Pearson goal, where the Leafs get back in it, down 2 goals. Now they're within 1 of St. Louis again, and I'm not quite sure what started all this, but everybody out there wants a piece of somebody else.
Van Hellemond has just instructed his 2 linesmen to get out of there and let these guys go if they want to. And you can see that Brosiker and Vines are letting them go. Andy's had enough. He says, you want to go, you dance? It's going to cost you 10 cents a dance here. 10-minute misconduct.
The important thing for these 2 teams now, which players are on the ice? I know that's what's going through the minds of Carpenter and Brian Sutter.
Well, the Blues have their checking line out there. And, of course, the Leafs have Olczyk, Pearson, and Lehman. So they're going to check them for 10 minutes, Bob, because they're going to be in the penalty box.
Todd Gill, a defenseman for the Leafs, he'll be going for sure. And I'm sure Rich Sutter of the Blues will be going. And Ramage, Lehman, Lowry, Wilson, Featherstone of St. Louis.
They don't stop, they're going to get a game misconduct. Van Hellemond's had enough of this, I'm sure.
Boy, this is a time where you really have to get a hold of your thoughts and say, wait a minute, Pearson goes. He has just scored the goal at this 5-minute mark. So he's in the penalty box, and Olczyk is going to follow. It will be crowded on both sides. Lehman so far has escaped
He's going too, though. They're all going.
Okay, here we go. Two goaltenders on the ice.
Two goaltenders and 20 gloves. Down in the corner. Van Hellemond is giving the penalties out. And all this broke out seconds after Pearson made it 3-2 on this play right here. Lehman intercepts the pass in the air. Olczyk will now backhand pass it out. And Pearson, who's just coming into the area, snaps it by Curtis Joseph. And Pearson gets the second goal of this series in only his second game. Let's listen to the penalties.
For Toronto, number 23, Todd Gill. Number 22, Scott Pearson. Number 8, Rob Ramage. Number 11, Gary Lehman. And number 16, Ed Olczyk. For St. Louis, number 23, Rich Sutter. Number 26, Mike Lawler. Number 36, Glenn Featherstone. Number 10, Dave Lowry, and number 18, Ron Wilson. All received 10-minute misconduct.
Here it is.
Time of the penalty, 5 minutes.
They kept going, and I'm sure the referee, Andy Van Hellemond, was hollering to break it up, or else. They didn't pay attention. They kept going, and Van Hellemond has done what he thought he should have done. They're all gone for 10 minutes.
10 cents a dance at Andy Van Hellemond's dance hall. And there are some pretty good players sitting in there for 10 full minutes. So the bench is shortened thanks to Andy Van Hellemond. Now they're going to get the equipment to the right people. I'm sure a couple of helmets need repairs as the straps probably were ripped off. And the Leafs are back in the hockey game.
Gone for St. Louis with the misconduct. Lawler, Featherstone, two defensemen. Wilson, Sutter, Lowry. And we look at the Leaf goal again. As Lehman, as Harry explained, tucked it in. And came back out from Olczyk to this guy. And Pearson scored again for the Maple Leafs.
Well, it wasn't a hard shot, but he got it away quickly. And Curtis Joseph wasn't ready for it. As the turnover, it looked like the Blues were going to get out of the zone without any trouble.
Gone for the Leafs. Ramage, Gill, Pearson, Lehman, and Olczyk.
That'll be easy for the checking line of the Blues, Wilson, Lowry, and Sutter, to check Mr. Olczyk's line in the penalty box. We're down to three-line hockey. Remember, we used to play 80 games when we only had 3 lines on each team, at least for 10 minutes.
And the defense corps has been cut too, don't forget.
We're down to 4.
Goes back a few years. Didn't all teams have 3 lines and 4
Sure.
defensemen and 1 goalie?
And one extra guy who could probably play defense or forward if you got into a jam. The game wasn't quite as fast then, though, Bob.
3-2. St. Louis leading the Maple Leafs. And the Leafs shoot the puck in. 15 minutes left in the second period as Zessel starts away. Zessel comes to center. Hull was upended. Zessel keeps going until he runs into Marsh. Leafs shoot it out again. Roberts dropped it back. Blues move up. Cavallini. His pass and the shot right into Reese, and he just holds it. Shot from the side, a tough angle, and Reese, no problem.
Probably wished he would shoot more.
Yeah.
But when you are that creative with it,
Face off deep in the Leaf zone to the left of Jeff Reese. Tom Fergus comes on, and Zessel will take the face-off for the Blues. 9 and 19. There's Zessel. He fired a goal for the Blues to open up a 3-1 lead. Pearson got that back for the Maple Leafs. Curvers going to the corner. Gets away from Zezel. A pass to Marois. Down with Fergus to center. Two of them trying to go in, and the Blues break it up. Paul Cavallini to Zezel, 2-on-1. Momesso in, and the shot blocked. Down goes Reese. He didn't know where it was for a second. Leafs get the puck out over the line. Marois didn't see it. He was bumped trying to go by Cavallini. Zezel is turning again. He's having a strong game tonight for St. Louis. Into Momesso. Now it's fired on the boards and down inside the St. Louis line. That's Gordy Roberts. The long pass at center. Momesso. And offside. Hall took the pass. The puck was still outside the line, and Momesso had gone in.
Sergio Momesso had a career year as far as points, goals, and assists are concerned this year. He's in his option year, looking for a new contract. He's tied with the team lead in this series in penalty minutes with 23, and of course, scored that big overtime goal in period 3, or in game 3, to give the Blues a 3-0 lead in the playoffs.
Marsh and Richardson tipped out over the line, and Hannon couldn't control it. Brind'Amour turning, coming back in for St. Louis. He was bumped by Richardson. That stopped him in his tracks. Clark put it to the line, and the Leafs get it up to Hannon. Hannon is alone on this rush. 3 Blues were back. So he shot it in behind the net. A little over 13 minutes left in the period as Snep starts Brind'Amour again. In with Oates. Oates going in against Richardson. Oates was there first, centered it. Brind'Amour came close to getting in front of the net. Here's Clark against Sneps. Clark along the line. Hannon tried to keep the skate back at the blue line, but it was tough to do. We hope you're enjoying the coverage from around the country and from south of the border and wherever we have to go. We'll get there and bring you the action on the road to the Stanley Cup. This one, it's 3-2 with 13 minutes and 30 seconds left in the period. The Leafs intercept. Dom Foose can't get a shot. He tried to pass over for Osborne. Osborne in the corner, given a bump. And the Blues get it out. Roberts leading the rush. Roberts gets up over the Leaf line. A nice play for Bahar. Bahar put a high one in front of the net, and Reese looking out. Saw the Blues players stay close, and he held on to it. And a penalty coming up.
It's gone. It's a spearing penalty. And Van Hellemond waved Curran as soon as he saw it to the dressing room. The Leafs are going to get 5 in a game for this play right here. The spear on Kelly Chase. We've said it 100 times, it seems, in the playoffs. Needless penalties have hurt the Leafs as much as anything this year, and this is one right here. He's gone. 5 in a game.
Well, he left the skate for the penalty box, but quickly Van Hellemond looked over and waved to him and said, not there. This gate down here and behind the Leaf net is the way to the Leaf dressing room, so Curran is gone.
Well, it looks to me like Kelly Chase is gone as well. He's trying to go through the door. He should get 5 for spearing the door. Now here it is, 39 and 28. Watch Curran, 28. This is after the whistle. Osborne spears him right in the stomach, and Chase must have butt-ended Curran to start it all. I didn't see that on that replay, though.
I saw Van Hellemond make the butt-ending sign, the motion with his 2 hands, as if he had a stick there, and he was explaining to somebody that was definitely a butt-end. So I think Osborne maybe got away with something here.
Well, Osborne got away with the spear for sure. And unless that replay didn't pick up the whole exchange, Osborne goes to the bench, Curran goes to the dressing room, Chase and Curran out of the game. 5 minutes apiece, there'll be no power play.
Gill and Ramage, 2 Leaf defensemen, already serving 10-minute misconduct penalties. So here's another Leaf defenseman gone, Curran, for the rest of this game.
And this is a tough period to play 3 defensemen. You're going to have to change your defensemen on the fly with only 3 of them, and the Leaf bench is a long way from the Leaf net.
3-2 is the score. St. Louis leading. Zezel, Hull, Momesso up there for St. Louis. Hull shot. Deflected. Wicked shot it was. It was deflected wide of the net. Momesso centering it. Hull took a swipe at it. It goes behind the net again. Now Brown shot. That's knocked down in front of Reese. And the Leafs. Marois gets it out. Now, too far for him. Snips, drops it back. And the net off the magnets. In behind Jeff Reese with the puck up the other end of the ice. Crowd doesn't like this.
Well, the crowd think Reese knocked it off on purpose. And the play and the 3 officials were all up the ice when it occurred. When they looked back, the net wasn't on the magnets.
11:52 left in the period. St. Louis 3, Toronto 2.
And at the Chicago Stadium, Gilbert gives the Blackhawks a 3-0 lead in the 5th game of that series. And the 6th game, of course, will be back in Minnesota on Friday. And in this series, maybe the surprise one of all, it's 0-0 in Game 5 at Calgary.
Chase, who's out of the game, opened the scoring at the 4-minute mark of the first. Hull, a power play at 4:40, and the Blues appear to be off and running. And Lehman got a power play goal before the period was out. Zezel made it 3-1, and Pearson at the 5-minute mark made it 3-2. The Blues lead, and they shoot the puck in. Oates, a clever playmaker for the Blues, goes in looking for it. In front of the net it comes. Cavallini couldn't get a decent shot. Leafs get it up to center and hopped away from Osborne and goes into Joseph. McLean gets it out rink wide for Gino Cavallini. Cavallini coming in with Oates in front of the net. Oates! He tried to tip it in on the short side and just missed. Curvers out for Toronto to center. Long shot missing. Kordic centered it. He was bumped by Gino Cavallini. And now there's a penalty call. Gino Cavallini is knocked down by Kordic. And Kordic is going to get a penalty. These two had it going for 2 games now. And Gino Cavallini got Kordic to lose his cool. He did. He's going to go. I think it'll be just the 1 penalty. We'll see.
Well, John Kordic was mad at his teammates for not playing the way he thought they should have in games 1 and 2. And John, I think, has had his 2 best games as a Leaf and controlled his temper. But you have to take a hit every once in a while in this game, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with Cavallini's body check. And it didn't hurt Kordic, but it possibly hurt his feelings. And now his teammates have to kill off 2 needless minutes because John could control his temper.
Roughing the call, and Kordic, the penalized player. Blues lead by 1. Brendamore comes in to take the face-off. Oates to his left, so is Hull. Zezel to the right. Powerful lineup there for St. Louis now. Jeff Brown, the defenseman at the blue line. Hull slipped the puck into the corner. Zezel taking a look around, lots of time to make the pass. Brown back to Zezel. On a sharp angle, so back to Brown again. Into Zezel for a 3rd pass. And now Oates on his skate side of the net. Hull scores! Hull!
Adam Oates, the quarterback, got the puck into Hull right here. And Hull, with the quickest hands this side of the Mississippi, puts it right past Reese, who opened up. Now you see what happens is St. Louis knew they had the 2-on-1 in deep if they could get the puck in. Oates got it in, and Hull put it in. Curvers was at the mercy of Hull, not knowing whether he's going to pass it across or shoot. And, of course, Reese knew the man was in front, too, and didn't know that Hull was going to pass or shoot. So Hall gets his second goal of the night, puts the Leafs in trouble halfway through this game.
9:29, the time of the goal. Hall's fifth of the series. Oates and Zazzle assisting. Another power play goal for Hull and the Blues.
Those needless penalties seem to be so much more difficult to kill off than the ones that come under just the consequence of being an aggressive player.
It is Roberts tucking the puck ahead for Oates. But they're offside at the Maple Leaf blue line. 10:23 left in the period. And once again, the Blues open up a 2-goal spread.
Well, Adam Oates has got 4 eyes out there. If there's a man in the clear, he gets him the puck. And here it is right here. The pass out to Oates. Now he just tantalizes the Leaf player to get him to come out. And now it's a 2-on-1. And Hall maybe had no intention of passing it across, but Curvers and Reese didn't know that.
Puck slipped by the defenseman all the way back down the ice. Joseph out to stop it. Gordy Roberts. Francis Getty trapped that. It's centered. Richardson kept it in. Took a shot. That missed. Francis Getty again. Took a shot from a sharp angle. It's kicked near the net. And the Blues, Adam Oates comes out with it. Skating down with McLean, and he shoots it in. Here comes Brindamore. Brindamore upended. Reese has to cover up. Puck comes right into him, and he stopped it and jumped on it immediately. 9:45 remaining in the period. Face off up to the right of Jeff Reese. The shots in this period are 6-4 in favor of the Blues. And total 15-14. So it's been pretty close in that department. But the Blues have controlled the play, really. They've had the advantage of power play opportunities. And now the Leaf big shooters are off serving misconducts. While the Blues checking unit is also off with those misconducts. 5 to each team. The Blues back. Starting to play again to the line and skating well as Hull. Up for Zazzle. Zazzle barging in there against Marsh. Marsh tapped it away. Leaves slow getting it going, but now Fergus gets up over the line. Fergus looking back, centered it. Here's Marois. His shot didn't get through. Marois again. Can't fire the backhander. And the Blues are out, led by Zazzle. In with Hull right behind him. Zazzle goes to the corner, looking back for Hull. In front of the net, Hull is there. Put the shot away, but Reese somehow saw it and grabbed it. Hull very dangerous, right in front of the net. We have another update for you now. Here's Ron McLean.
In both Smythe semifinal division series, teams are facing 3-1 deficits at home. The Edmonton Oilers against Winnipeg this evening at the Northlands Coliseum go ahead 1-0 in the first period as Hessa Tikkanen blasted from the point on the power play to give Edmonton the first goal of that game.
Why would 27 for Winnipeg?
8 minutes and 53 seconds left to play in the second period. The Blues have a 2-goal lead on the Toronto Maple Leafs and can wrap up this series with a win tonight.
Toronto, there has been very little flow to this game. You recall Game 3 and definitely Game 4. All kinds of up and down action, sometimes 3, 4, and 5 minutes without a whistle. And that's the kind of game Toronto plays better in than one of these kind with many delays, scrummages after the whistle, and no tempo to the game.
On the face-off, Curvers. Along the boards, the Leafs get it out. Hannon is skating with it. Hannon bumps one in, wide of the net, but Joseph stepped out to stop it and give it to Roberts. Roberts pass to Mahar. Mahar has to back up. Got it back out. Marsh shoots it in again for Toronto. Leafs making changes as the Blues come out. Gino Cavallini put it into Mahar. He is stopped. Curvers tried to go in. Couldn't get too far. Richardson up for Curvers. He and Daou are in there. Daou tried to go by, and Roberts stopped him. Cavallini slapped it to the line, not out. Backing up is Paul Cavallini. Roberts grabbed Daou, and Mahar's away. He has Gino Cavallini coming up on the play. There's the shot. Gino Cavallini going after the rebound. 8 minutes left in this period. The Blues, after winning the first three, had ideas of sweeping the Maple Leafs. But the Leafs had their strongest game of the series 2 nights ago in Toronto. But tonight, the Blues seem to be ready to take charge. And they have that 2-goal lead now. Second period winding down. Marois trying to outrace Brind'Amour. He does that, but Steps got back to sweep the puck away for Momesso. Up with Oates. Coming in is Brown on the play. Brown takes the pass. Circles back to the blue line and now to Steps. He rolled it up to Momesso. Momesso stopped. Brind'Amour center. Momesso shot. Missed on the short side. Leafs just hanging on now. Get the puck out. Francis Getty coming up, trying to take it away from Oates. He can't do it. Momesso flipped it high. It goes down the ice. It is Oates coming in. Oates in the corner, centered it. Brind'Amour covered by Marsh. Marsh back out. Stick handled away from Brind'Amour. Pass nearly picked off by Hull. 7 minutes left in the period. The Blues keep coming in. Oates this time dropped it back. That might have been a time where Adam Oates would take a shot, but not so. Tried to pass it back. Here he is again, Oates. Oh! And I don't think he got everything he wanted on that shot, but Reese made the glove save, and boy, that Oates can spot Hull every time. Blues, Fergus. Cavallini stopped him. Fergus couldn't get by him. Osborne back to the line. It's drifted into Clark and rolled through the crease. Joseph didn't even blink. He saw his player Gino Cavallini looking at it, who was just hit hard by Osborne. And he is hurt, slow going to the bench. Here's Fergus coming in, trying to stick handle through, lost it. Mahar goes behind the net. Gets away from Clark. Hull given a bump by Fergus. Puck fired all the way down the ice. This time, icing called against St. Louis with 5:57 left in the second period. And the Blues just nursing that 2-goal lead.
Well, the St. Louis Blues historically in the playoffs, when they've got the opposition in a spot where they can eliminate them with the win, they are 14-2 in those games, and that's exactly where they have the Leafs at the moment. Big crowd here at St. Louis, and as usual, when there are this many people in the building, a noisy crowd. It hasn't been a barn burner type game, but for the people who are sitting in the seats here at the St. Louis Arena, they like that scoreboard. 4-2 St. Louis, 5:57 to go in the second period.
Leafs win the draw. Blues cover up. What else is new? And there they are, covering so well that they skate away with it. 3 of them. Flipped into the zone by Momesso. Marsh back. McLean in for checking. Don Foose on the other side lifts a pass ahead. Dow coming out with Marois, tried to hit him on the fly and missed him. Momesso back. He and Marois butt together. McLean on the boards against Don Foose. Marois takes the puck, centered it. Mahar was covering in the slot and just dumped it out. Now Kerber's played it into Daou. Daou with Don Foose. And Steps took it away from him. Again the Blues dump it to center ice. Don Foose from center. Skates up a stride or two, but Kerber's was in ahead of the play. Offside. 5:01 remaining in the period. All the penalized players over there who are off serving misconducts are anxious to get back at it. But with 5:01 left, they have to wait another second and another stoppage before they can come out.
There's Harold Sneps. I remember when he first started in the National League, a lot of people wondered what nationality he was. First, Harold said they called me an Indian. Then they said I was an Oriental. Lately, they've accused me of being a Mexican. And I'm telling you this, Harold's a Latvian. And a good one at that.
The St. Louis Blues leading 4-2. And time running out in the second period. Hannon sweeps it back. Richardson kicks it ahead. Brindamore checked him. Brindamore takes a hit from Kerbers, but the Blues control it. Gino Cavallini. And Franceschetti got back and lifted his stick. He was upended. Hannon racing down with Osborne. Osborne coming in. Trying to whip it back for Kerbers. And Paul Cavallini gets it to brother Gino, and he was hit again by Franceschetti. 4:20 left in the period. Leafs trying to pick it up was Hannon. The pass went by him over the boards at the St. Louis bench. And now those penalized players who are off on the misconducts are coming back out, and the crowd bids a welcome.
And they're holding the Leaf players till all the St. Louis players come out. It looks like they're coming out to start the game as 10 players exit the penalty box and try and get a little bit of a skate here and cheat for a bit of a warm-up with 4:14 to go in period 2. The Leafs down 4-2. These guys ought to be flying, Bud. They've had a 10-minute breather.
They've been sitting for a while, but they won't fly right away. They've stiffened up. Players do not like that. They often talk about being on the bench for a long time, and then the coach says, "You're next, out you go," and he expects wonders, but the legs get kind of stiff. Well, let's see what happens, because Olczyk, Lehman are on against the checking line. Wilson, Sutter, and Lowry. And the Leafs try to move it. Pearson flipped it to center ice. It hits Sutter. Leaves Todd Gill back with Ramage. Ramage coming out. Fired one ahead. It's Pearson playing it off the boards back to the line. But the Blues' Lowry was there. Here comes Wilson watching Gill. The pass, Pearson. He made a good move at center. Flipped the pass in for Olczyk. Joseph coming out at center. Batted to the corner again. And the Blues' Lowry starting away. Here's Wilson taking his pass. Up over the line with Sutter. That's broken up. And the Leafs are moving in there. Here's Dom Foose. And the play is called on the offside at the St. Louis blue line. With 3:23 left in the second period, let's go to Ron McLean.
Bob, at the Chicago Stadium, the Hawks leading 3-0. Greg Gilbert giving them that cushion. Brian Bellows shoots toward the slot. It goes off of a Chicago defenseman's stick. Actually looks to be Troy Murray. And eludes Greg Millen. So it's now the Hawks 3, the Stars 1 in the second.
Clark on the ice again, playing on the left side with Dom Foose and Barrois for the Maple Leafs. Zessel, Momesso and Hull for St. Louis. Paul Cavallini for Momesso. He took a swing at it. Had to drop it back. Roberts played it out for Momesso. He's coming to center ice. Momesso tried to shoot it in, hit Richardson. Barrois winds up in his own zone with Marsh. Pass too far for Dom Foose. The Blues again, losing it. It is Clark for Marsh. Leafs shoot it in, but the Blues are back there quickly, and they beat them to the puck every time inside that line. Roberts back. Leafs are changing now as Roberts starts away. Put it high on the glass and gets it out. 2.5 minutes left in the period. 3 Blues on this rush. Coming in is Hull. He's grabbed and tied up and can't move on it. Roberts stopped by Olczyk. In with Clark. Mark shot. Joseph blocked that on the short side. Here comes Hull. He's racing in there against Gill, who got back. Here's Lowry. High shot missed. Blues go in after it. Lowry trying to get the puck loose. Rich Sutter on the boards. Fired it in behind the net, and Lehman skates away. Up with Gill. Pass in through the skates of Olczyk. And Lawler back for St. Louis. Got away from Pearson. Wilson picks it up. Out with Lowry. 1:45 left in the period. Reese waiting for Lehman to come back. Lehman is stopped by the forechecking Wilson. Brindamore on the play for St. Louis. Gill. Up the center, Curvers. Shoots it by Fergus and in there. Joseph giving it to Lawler. 1:20 left in the period. The Leafs keep it in. Featherstone racing, but so is Franciscetti. Brindamore hit by Franciscetti. The Blues get it out. 1:10 left in the period. Brindamore skating in. Takes the shot. Kicked away by Reese. We're down to 1 minute remaining in the second period. A giveaway in the line. The backhander kicked away by Reese. Oates with a soft backhander. Oates again centered it. Another shot stopped by Reese. Right to the goal line, and McLean came very close to putting the Blues up by 3 goals.
Jeff Reese has given up 2 goals this period. The Blues are out shooting the Leafs 12-5 in period 2 and 21-15 in the game.
Maple Leafs trying to get one before this period is out. It's Marois and Domfus. Domfus overskates it. Whips a pass in front of Hannon. Hannon stopped by Snaps. 40 seconds remaining in the period. Ramage was backing up and couldn't keep it in. Now it's dumped him with 30 seconds left in the period. And that will be icing. Call against the Maple Leafs. Ramage doesn't like the call. He feels that it was okay, but it was icing.
Well, Jeff Brown had 5 points in 4 games coming into tonight's play. And, of course, Ron Caron wanted a 60 to 75-point defenseman. And he got one, I think, right here in Brown. And Brian Sutter has worked hard at improving Brown's nightly work habits and his intensity. And Brown always has the offensive ability. And he's now learning on this St. Louis Blues team how to play defensively. Hannon, who had a great game in Game 4, added a lot of spark and speed to the Leaf attack and to the penalty-killing core.
Zezel and Hull have scored in this second period for St. Louis. Both power play goals. Pearson for the Maple Leafs. 29 seconds left. Mahar against Hannon. From the face-off, the Leafs win it. Gill around the net. Took a quick look up at the clock. He sees 23 seconds left as he tries to pass it in behind Marois, who missed it. And the Blues keep the Leafs bottled up inside the line. 12 seconds left in the period. The puck is over the boards at the St. Louis bench. And there will be another face-off inside the Leaf blue line. 10 seconds left.
Now, the 3 things the Leafs did so well in Game 4 had a superior skating speed than the Blues. They were more aggressive than the Blues, and they forechecked quite heavily against the Blue defense, and we've seen very little of that tonight. And I don't think the Blues are playing an exceptionally good game, but they're playing a very careful game, and Brian Sutter's game plan is so much easier to follow and works so much better when they get a lead. Those 2 goals in the first 4 minutes or in the 4 to 5 minute mark of the first period, put the Leafs in a terrible bind.
Set the plan right off the bat, with the Blues getting out into a lead early. Leafs could get close, that's all, within 1 goal. But it's 2 goals again, and the horn goes to end this second period.
This year, that's how good he was, and Curvers hasn't played for quite a little while. But Curvers did a nice job when he came to Toronto, and Niedermeyer was the player to be named later. Nobody.
2-period shot total, 21-15 for the St. Louis Blues. And a 4-2 lead. So, league season could be down to 20 minutes. Reese out of the net, trying to snap one away for Osborne. Tied up by McLean. Marsh again. Brindamore in to watch him. Leafs get it out. Up near center, Franciscetti shoots it in. Here's Osborne. Bumping with Paul Cavallini. Cavallini swept it away toward the line. Oates is up after it. Franciscetti hit him, and the Leafs want to make changes. Reese saw Brindamore come in, had to poke it away from him. Rich Sutter. Bumped by Gill. Blues are on it in there. Ramage missed his man. Now he gets the puck. Took it away from Oates. Lehman, long pass to Pearson up the line. He He was offside, but the play is allowed to continue with the Blues gaining possession and shooting it away. Again, Gill, rink wide, pass taken by Olczyk. He shoots it in, off the mark. Lehman is coming up after it, trying to get it over in front of the goal. He's tied up by Lowry, and the Blues keep dumping it away. Curvers, lots of time, a lot of room to make the first move. Up to Dom Foose was a good one. Dom Foose getting away from Lawler, poke it in front, and there's Joseph covering on the short side. This young goaltender has been very, very steady in this series.
He sure has. I think some of the Leafs thought that he may cave in this Curtis Joseph. You know, for a kid who's played very few games in this league and never a playoff game before this round. But I've been most impressed with Curtis Joseph's poise. And here he's going to give you a little example of what I'm talking about on a quick turnaround shot by Fergus.
We are 1:37 into the third period at St. Louis. And the crowd feeling, as the weather warms up in Missouri, that there will be more hockey coming up.
Well, if St. Louis beat the Leafs tonight, they will have 1 week off, as the next round doesn't start until a week tonight.
Richardson lifts a high one in. Richardson again stops it at the blue line. Can't hold it in this time. Zezel is out with Momesso. Momesso coming in. Looked as if he'd shoot it. Now he gets in close. And Zezel nearly cashed in again. Dom Foose up the center. Marois on the move. He faked the shot, trying to get away from Hull, who tied him up. Here's Hull. Pass to the left wing, and Gino Cavallini in against Todd Gill. Gill rides him off into the boards. Marsh out to Clark. Clark was stopped dead in his track, couldn't move. Cavallini is coming in, and he was stopped on the short side by Reese. Pass going astray out near center ice. Fergus missed it. Leafs make changes, so do the Blues. It is Marois up for Clark. In for Daoud. Doesn't work. Snaps broke it up at the blue line. Leafs shoot it again. And there's Brown. Up for Oates. He has room. Going for the short side. He didn't miss by much. McLean kept it in. Reese flipped it. Right to Oates. Now Marsh. Long pass. A little too far for Kordic. Offside called. The Blues up across center. That was Brindamore, trapped offside. Tonight's game is coming to you from the arena in St. Louis. I get the feeling, Harry, this pace in this game, nothing like the other games in the series.
There's no pace to this game.
For whatever reason, this one deflected over the glass.
Well, St. Louis don't want a high-speed game. They got up 2 goals quickly and put their checking suits on, and the Leafs, every time they come through the neutral zone, they never have a man advantage. The St. Louis defense and usually 2 back checkers are strung across the blue line. The Leafs shoot-ins have been poorly placed and poorly timed, and they haven't been getting and recovering those shoot-ins like they did in Game 3 and 4.
Again, Gino Cavallini, bumped by Hannon, but he gets the puck out of the zone, gets the job done. Richardson back, Mahar in quickly. McLean given a bump by Osborne. Ramage. Tough time trying to get away from Cavallini. The Leafs get it up as far as center. It's played in there. Francischetti will be ridden off into the boards by Roberts. Osborne coming up. It'll be Gino Cavallini for St. Louis. Took a hit from Francischetti, and the Blues keep dumping it out. 4 minutes gone in the third. Ramage. Long shot, missing the net. Leafs change again. Lehman knocked it down. Curvers takes it, backs up with it. Again, Marsh. Very little room to move. Featherstone shoots it in. Curvers lost it. Wilson centered it. Sutter was alone. Tried to tip it in as he jabbed at it. Blues checking line coming close again. Lowry is in there. And Reese had to be good to stop that shot from Lowry. Boy, these Blues, the Checkers, are so dangerous. They're so good at what they're doing, but all of a sudden somebody is open. Two clean shots. One by Lowry, the other by Rich Sutter. Puck slapped high again over the glass, into the crowd. The Blues here was Zessel. Zessel's high shot rattles off the glass. Ramage watching Zessel. Look at this giveaway. Hull turns. Oh, Jeff Reese got the left hand up and saved the day again.
Well, that Hull's like a cobra when he gets that puck. He can strike from any direction with no time involved. And a hat trick was torn right out of his hands by Jeff Reese.
We have some time, so again, let's check with Ron.
Well, Bob, while the Calgary crowd likes what it sees, the same can't be said of the fans in Edmonton. Greg Puslowski, the former Blues, scores here as he eludes the check from Ruotsalainen and beats Ranford. Puslowski from Howardchuck. It's now 2-1 Jets.
The Oilers are well on the way to not winning a series since the loss of number 99.
You wanted to say that. I wondered when you would say
when
that.
When they traded Wayne Gretzky, they traded any chance of winning the Stanley Cup in the near future.
Quote, unquote, Harry Neal.
Well, don't you agree with me, Bob?
Well, how can you disagree?
That's my point.
Wayne Gretzky. Look what he's doing now. He has the Kings all fired. Even when he doesn't play, they do it for him. But the Flames are fighting back tonight. Play stop. This is offside, delayed. 4-2 Blues with 14:26 remaining in the third period.
Now, Brian Sutter, you have to give him lots of credit for getting his team ready to go, not only in the playoffs, but also this game. I was listening to one of them tell me about one of the times that Brian flew off the handle and went into a rage when they lost 9-3 to L.A. and went wild. Hull said, I've only seen it once and I don't want to ever see it again. Ron Wilson says you wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley when he felt like that. Momesso says, put it this way, I put my helmet on and kept my stick in my hands while I watched it. So Sutter has a way of getting his point across.
Snaps trying a long shot. Tell you, the Leafs can't get anything going at all against the St. Louis Blues right now. 6 minutes gone in the third period. Now watch the Blues come back and pick it up in their own zone. In on the boards goes Clark, trying to do something for Toronto. It is Daou trying to center it, right onto the stick of Gino Cavallini. Oates out with McLean. Here's McLean shooting! Reese the save. Clark to his own line away from Gino Cavallini and coming up over the St. Louis line. Clark tried to stick handle through by himself. Steps is there. McLean got back. And here's Gino Cavallini leading another three-man attack. Oates is in there. Now four of them skating for it. Rick Sutter takes a bump in the corner from Gill, and Olczyk is coming out. Leafs appear to be patient, waiting for their chance. Time running out. They played 7 minutes of the third period. And the Blues, again, come in. Sutter slipped it in there along the boards for Lowry. He sidestepped Lehman. Here's Wilson. Tried to jam it in. Now Wilson again. Lots of time. Lowry is there with him. Wilson in the corner, flipped it back. And Gill left it for Lehman. Wilson having a strong series for the St. Louis Blues in a checking role, but he's been up there on the score sheet. Number 18 for St. Louis. Working inside the Leaf line, but the Leafs do get it up as far as the Blues line. There's Wilson again, giving it to Hull again. That's kicked out by Reese. Hull booming his shot at Reese. Lehman skates to center. Long shot, no problem for Joseph. Pearson moving up. Pearson along the boards. Pearson trying to work it into the corner. Hannon had a shot at it, but the Blues get it out again. They've now played 8 minutes of the third. Herbers against Momesso. Marsh gave it to Momesso. Up to Zezel. Lowry in front of the net. Oh, what a save by Reese. Lowry again. Reese has been hurt. He made a big save on Lowry early in the period, and now another here. But he's shaken up with this one.
He broke his kneecap earlier this year in Newmarket. You have to wonder whether that could be the problem. He went down to stop Lowry's shot and has yet to get up. He may have got hit in the groin. And he's living in Soprano City if he did.
Great pass.
Lowry kicks it up and shoots it. And Reese was lying wide open on the shot, lying down. And I'm sure it was the shot, Bob, that hurt him and not Lowry's skate. That
it was in the knee area, I do believe. Sometimes that puck will hit just above the goaltender's pad. It was a hard shot because Lowry was flying, had some speed up, took it on a skate, lots of time to label it. He did that. That was a fine save by Jeff Reese to keep the Leafs in there with a chance.
Van Hellemond has sent Hannon over to say you have to change the goalies to Doug Carpenter. They'll give you a minute, but a minute's not going to be enough for Jeff Reese right here, who looks like he did hurt his leg again, his left leg. And we're going to see Alan Vester here as soon as they get Reese to the far end of the rink.
Here's Vester getting ready. He played the games last time we were here in St. Louis, and Game 3 in Toronto, the overtime game. I thought he played well, very well, in the 2 games here in St. Louis. And then up until that overtime heartbreaker, he was solid. Then Jeff Reese came in and won a game for the Maple Leafs, and he was solid. Now he has to leave injured.
The expression on his face, it looks as much like disgust as pain, as if he's re-injured his leg, and he was out for a long time. And here they're slowly taking him out of the end of the rink to the dressing room, and they're going to stop dragging him and carry him here.
He's told them he can't walk in that anymore. That's what he said. He was able to get up the length of the ice. Courageous to do that, but once he got inside and on what he thought camera range, he said, guys, you're going to have to help me a little more than this. I got to be carried.
Well, 11:44 to go in this game, or in the third period of it anyway. The Leafs have made very little indication that they're going to tie it up, but 2 goals in the last 11 minutes isn't an insurmountable amount.
So Vester comes in. No warm-up, remember. And the face-off is to his left. Oates, Brind'Amour, and McLean. It is McLean stopping the puck, shooting it into the corner. It comes around the other side for Brind'Amour. Franciscetti is back there to help out. Gave it to Pearson. He slapped at it. It doesn't come out, but Franciscetti takes care of that. Moving down along the boards, dropping it for Hannon and Pearson. He's in there with a shot. Oh, and a nice save by Joseph. And now he has been hurt. He is still getting up. He had to stretch a long way to make that skate save, and he's pulled something.
And also, when McLean was back-checking on the Leaf forward Hannon, I believe, he bumped into Joseph. And Joseph, again, was strung out in a similar fashion to Reese. Now let's have a look. Hannon passes it to Pearson, and then he goes to the net. It's not the shot that hurts Joseph. It's Hannon, you see, that's kind of guided into him by McLean and just kicks him. And the trainer is telling Vincent Riondo to get changed. You're going in. So he automatically must realize that something fairly serious is wrong with Curtis Joseph.
Riondo is back to the bench, getting ready. Looks like another goaltender change. There's Vince Riondo in the nets now for the St. Louis Blues. He comes in. Curtis Joseph spotted him. A 4-2 lead. Coming into the third period, 11:17 remaining. And Joseph skated off to the St. Louis bench. What looked to be, Harry, a shoulder injury.
Well, we know one thing, Bob. The Leafs have a third goalie here in Mark LaForest. I'm sure he's getting dressed now. I don't think St. Louis do have a third one, and it looks like neither one of the starters could come back if they had to, if one of these two got hurt. Sutter's going up and down the bench, and have any of you guys ever played goal before? When the players are diving under the bench, just great speed.
And here are the two goaltenders of the moment. Riondo for St. Louis, Bester for the Maple Leafs. 4-2 Blues, 11:17 remaining, third period. And from the faceoff, Richardson had hit a skate. He lost it. Gill comes back against Zessel. Marois coming in. He's breaking for the net. Couldn't get a backhander on the net, though. Marois burst of speed to go around the defenseman. The Blues get it out. Hull, he's breaking in there. Hull in on a sharp angle, falling. Gill, a good skating defenseman, hustled back. Kept him outside. Marois again. Whipped the pass along the line. The Blues clear it. Memesso coming in with Zessel. Zessel gets set. Back for Memesso. Bester. The stick save. Fergus for Lehman. Then the Blues intercept again. Chopped in by Wilson. Gill bumping with him. Teams were changing. That puck was cleared in. Lawler fires one from center. The Blues moving up. Sutter going along the boards after Ramage. Ramage in the corner. Skated Sutter out of the play. It is not cleared out, though. Featherstone flipped it in. Lehman and Olczyk coming away with Osborne. The pass to the right side. The defenseman Ramage was up on the play. Less than 10 minutes remaining in the third period. Blues a 2-goal lead. Leafs desperately trying to get something going. Backing up against Wilson was Ramage. Memesso intercepting. He's coming in. Wilson falls. The Leafs start out. Right wing pass. Coming in. Olczyk dropped it back. Osborne on with the brakes. Now to Ramage. Ramage slapped at it. Side of the net. Olczyk didn't see it. Now he tries to center it. The Blues can't move it. Olczyk again with Franciscetti. Near the line is Ramage. The shot. That's blocked. Ramage up into Gino Cavallini, who might have had a clear breakaway. And the puck goes over the glass into the crowd with 9 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the third period. And here it remains, 4-2. St. Louis leading. We're told that Jeff Reese is now outside the Leaf dressing room walking about. He has injured a knee, not the knee he injured earlier in the season. So at least the Leaf goaltender is trying to work off that injury. We'll try to get a report for you on Curtis Joseph.
He appeared to his left shoulder, Bob. He was holding it very carefully as he left the rink.
Brind'Amour and Oates. Oates shot, gloved by Bester. An easy shot from Oates, right into the glove of Bester.
There's the Leaf dressing room, and you can see that he's got a big ice pack on his left knee. And of course, that's the first thing they do to any kind of an injury, whether it's a twist or a bruise. Alan Bester, who played the first 3 games of this series, is back in the net. The Leafs have only managed 3 shots on goal with 8:28 to go in the third period, and they have not caused St. Louis any offensive problems at all. St. Louis playing a strong defensive period, trying to kill the game, the clock, and the Leafs off.
Riendo hasn't had to make a save yet. since he came in. Fester's had a couple. Pass off the boards. Fester another one. Got the right arm up. Made a stick save. Sneps going back there with 8 minutes remaining in the third period. Sneps gets it out. He'll waste no time clearing the zone. Leafs just shoot it in again. And back this time to pick it up is Brown, and that's icing against Toronto. 7:56 remaining in the third. And the Blues fans here feeling that this series is winding down tonight. He knows.
This guy's so excited about seeing a playoff game. Didn't have a hope of seeing one in Quebec, and he knew that about December the 1st. He lives in Quebec City.
Claude Scott
from Quebec City. One of the few Quebecers enjoying the playoffs. They let him out on the weekends in Quebec. And here in St. Louis, he has been a popular addition to the St. Louis Arena crowd. A good crowd here tonight, too.
And he's going to be around for a while unless the Leafs can get something going. Because Ron Carroll will not let him go back home, I don't think, if the Blues can win this series tonight. Here's a shot that Boeser got a piece of. And dribbled to the right, missed the net. Gill goes around the goal. Caught up with Ramage. Now Gill to center, and he flipped it in. Marwall upended by Roberts, trying to go in. Now it's tipped back to Gill, and it hopped over his stick and got out. Marwall was all alone in the slot area. He missed it, and it hopped away from Gill. Now Owen Domfus. Domfus plays it over to Ramage. Ramage's shot. Gloved by Riendo. That's his first save, and it was a hot one to handle. That's offside. The Leafs play it. It's called on the offside. Ramage failed to keep it in.
Vincent Riando makes his first stop of the game since coming in to replace Curtis Joseph.
He came in at 8:43 of the period. And we have 7:06 left in this period.
I can't remember a team, Bob, maybe you can, that started the playoffs the way the St. Louis Blues did this year. Neither goaltender ever having played a playoff game in the National League before. Often the team has one that hasn't, but not two. This guy played 41 league games, but not a playoff game. He watched 10 of them last year when Greg Millen played them all. St. Louis, when he was here. Doug Carpenter's team is 7 minutes and 6 seconds away from the summer.
So Riendo has been in there for a little over 5 minutes now. He's had a couple of chances. Here's another. Didn't get to him, though. Kermers fired it. Looked as if he had a hole, but it was blocked. A lot of blocked shots by the St. Louis Blues. That's their style. Goaltender gets a lot of protection. Lehman tips it into the St. Louis zone. Featherstone around the net, trying to lift it out right away. He'll get a second chance to do it, and he does. Sutter from center ice dumps it in. 6:35 remaining, third period. Leafs starting out, running out of time, and coming to center is Kermers. In for Osborne. He is stopped. Osborne alone with 3 Blues all over him. Puck out, but now Olczyk steps back in, turns and rifle it into the corner. Osborne and Lehman scores! Lehman from Osborne, who made the clever play, flipping the puck into Lehman. And the Leafs are still alive.
Well, Featherstone lost the puck while he looked like he was in no trouble at all. Now watch it. Featherstone in the corner of the rink, out of danger. Loses the puck all by himself. McLean steps by it. Osborne flicks it over to Lehman, who really shows what a goaltender's patience is like. He waited till Riando got the left leg out and then tapped it in, and the Leafs with 6:13 to go have a life. Remember, they tied it up with a lot less than this to go in Game 3.
So it's Gill coming in again. Gill has a little bit of room against Brown and centers it. The puck sliced high, knocked down in front. Hannon took a swing at it and nearly had it into the far side. The Leafs come very close to exploding for 2 fast goals. And they got one here from Lehman, his second of the night, from Osborne and Olczyk at 13:47.
Well, when you have been so long between good opportunities, this one goal may well jack up the Leafs and let them have a 5-minute, 51-second run at the Blues. And here it is again, Featherstone going back, and he just got handcuffed. McLean thought Featherstone had the puck.
Blues now will keep dumping it away. 2 of them skating after it. Here's McLean. He's going in alone. McLean stopped by Alan Bester on the backhand. He was tied up a bit, couldn't get the kind of shot he wanted, but he did get the backhander along the ice, and Bester stopped it. Now Wendell Clark in around Sneps. Clark tried to center it. There's Pearson trying to dig it out. Sneps has the puck. Put it by Clark over into the corner. Blues shoot it out. Brindamore lobbing it down the ice. Oates stripped Richardson. Clean. Oates against Richardson. Now he holds him in on the boards. Puck held with a skate. Richardson trying to poke it loose. It comes loose. Marois comes in to help. So does Cavallini for St. Louis. Hannon for Pearson. Stopped, and he just got rid of it to center ice. Leaves Kerbers for Fergus. He has some room up to Marois. He's alone. Marois going in. Marois. Oh, what a save by Riendo. He'll get a standing ovation for that game saver, let me tell you. Who says the goaltender needs a warm-up? Riendo came in here at the 8:43 mark. They're now nearing the 16-minute mark. And brother, what a save he pulled off on Marois. Now Ramage. That shot missing the net. Gill. Leafs have come to life here at this stage of the third period. In back of the net, Domfus overskates it. Momesso pushed one out for Hall. Hall coming in with Mahar. Hall skating around inside the line. Now Fergus intercepted out with Domfus. Domfus moving up. Poke check by Snips. And it goes all the way back inside the Leaf line. 4:05 left in the third. 4-3 now. St. Louis still leading, but the Leafs making it close. Going after the tying goal now is Olczyk, slamming his man behind the net. However, the Blues pull away. Sutter comes in to pick it up off the glass. He is stopped in on the boards by Kerbers. Richardson on the other side against Wilson. It's out over the line. Olczyk failed to play it. Lowry shoots one in. Sutter trying to stop Osborne, who got back. Front of his own net. Richardson pulled away from Sutter. Still in dangerous territory. Spinning back again. Now Lehman. Up through to Olczyk. Olczyk coming in. Backhands it over in front. Nobody there in the Blues. Hanging on now. 3:15 remaining in the third. A 1-goal lead, this one. Leafs facing elimination in the Stanley Cup playoffs. If the Blues can hang on, they'll move on to the division final. Here's the chance for St. Louis again. Oates going in against Ramage. 2:50 remaining in the third period. And it's the Blues' Lawler. And low shot missing the net. Fergus can't catch up to it. Their center. He got back to poke at the Kerbers, who gave it to Fergus again. 1 move, 2 moves. Domfus coming in. Center to go. It's off and stick at the far side. McLean tipped it. Nearly caught the corner of his own net. Now he slipped the pass away, not out. Kept in by the Leafs. Blues trying desperately to get it out, and they do. 2:20 remaining in the third. Leafs trying to force another game back at Maple Leaf Gardens. And they roll it into the St. Louis zone. 2:05 left in the third. Gill in there bumping his man. Bahar played it on the boards. Brindamore won't get it out. It is Fergus stick handling in the zone against Nahar. There's Marwag trying to get loose from Lawler. The Leafs sent 3 players in deep. The pass back to Ramage. His shot blocked in front, and the Blues are going to clear it. Out comes Nahar. Down on the wing, and Ramage broke it up near his own line. It's dumped in with 1:43 remaining in the third period. St. Louis 4, Toronto 3. Blues trying to win the series. The Leafs showing some character now, fighting back. Lehman has scored a goal to get them close. Now 3 of them come in. It's a pass up the line. Osborne missed it. Herbert dropped it back. 1:50 left to break. Lowry upended. No penalty. Play continues. Lowry tried to center it. Bester trying to keep it behind the net. A scramble for it back there. 1 minute remaining in the third period. And maybe 1 minute in the Leafs season. Bester was trying to get to the bench. Nearly got trapped. Good checking by Wilson and Sutter. The crowd roaring now with 45 seconds remaining, and the Leafs trying to pull it out one more time. Olczyk to center. Bester going for the Leaf bench. They now have the extra man on. The Blues, Paul Cavallini gets it out over the line. 30 seconds remaining in the third period. Cavallini clears the zone. 25 seconds left. Olczyk stopped by Snips at center ice. The Leafs shoot it in. 20 seconds remaining in the third. Leafs stomp Bruce out of the play call. The net off the magnet again. In behind Riendo. Now, there might be a face-off in the St. Louis zone to the left. Paul Cavallini is arguing with the linesman and the referee. It should be out, but I think it's going to be inside the line. With 15 seconds left, Harry, on the clock.
It absolutely is. While the play was up at the other end, Riendo knocked it off. And the face-off will be just inside the St. Louis blue line. That's where the puck was when the whistle blew. Riendo was lucky, boy, that he didn't get caught doing that. It's a penalty shot.
Yes, it is.
If you do it within the last 2 minutes. The Leafs were exhausted. They played about 1 minute and 20 seconds trying to get Bester out of there with the same 5 guys, and they couldn't move their legs. So Riendo really gave them a break because St. Louis was on the way out of the zone when the whistle went.
The crowd standing and cheering the Blues.
The Leafs have used their timeout, Bob. Remember, they used it earlier in the third period. They'd like to have one now. And St. Louis, if they're smart, won't take one.
And here they go. All right, 15 seconds remaining. Is this the end of the road? 1990 for the Maple Leafs. 4-3 is the score. The Blues leading the Maple Leafs. Snips clears it down the ice. Perfect draw weight. It got as far as the goal line and no icing. 6 seconds left. This is it. The Blues will move on. They defeat Toronto